Hill Art Cavan in County Cavan, Ireland for our new children's art class. And my name is Margaret McKenna. And today we're going to paint and draw umbrellas in the rain. And this came as a suggestion from one of you, as all the drawings that we do here are your suggestions. And each day I'm going to pick out of the hat or my tray another suggestion that you've made. And don't forget now, if you have any ideas at all throughout this whole little tutorial how to draw, let me know. If you have anything you would like to draw, anything you'd like to paint, please let me know. And at the end of the class, I'll put them in the hat and we'll pick out the next one. And if I don't see them now, I'll do it for the next class. Okay? So get your thinking hats on and think, what would you like to paint and draw? So this came, as I say, as a suggestion from some of you to draw umbrellas in the rain. And it's a really nice idea because you have the dark clouds and you've got the rain, and then you have these lovely colourful umbrellas, and you can put whatever colour you want on it. Now, I've put, just plain colours, but you could put spots, you could put patterns, you could put all kinds of designs on it. So it's up to you what you do. But I'm putting these colours on for now, okay? So you make up your own mind what colours you'd like to see. Okay, so how do we start? Well, we need a pencil first of all. And here's my pencil. And the first thing I say, as I do always say to you, is how to hold your pencil. You don't hold it really tight, you hold it nice and loose. Now, a lot of you hear me saying this all the time, but there's some new people come into the class, so I want to let them know how to hold your pencil when you're drawing. It's not like writing, because you don't hold it really tight, because you make a really dark line. It's really hard to rub out, because some of these lines we will rub out, because they're just guidelines, and we won't need them all at the end of the class. So, I want you first to loose your hand. Nice. If you do that, loosen it up, and that helps you to make it feel nice and loose so you don't feel really tight drawing, okay? So you do that first. Let me see all your hands going like that. Okay, nice and loose. Hold your pencil in nice and light in your hand, far back, and a nice light line. Now, I have to write in a heavy line and draw in a heavy line for the simple reason that you won't see it on the page otherwise. So, I'm going to do heavy, but you're going to do it light, okay? So remember that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line, and you can draw this very light because it's just to show where the cloud is going to be. And this is going to be really light, and I'm going to do it a bit heavier, and it's just really easy little bumpy bump, and I'm going to stop it a little early like that, and just a little bit at the top. So that's going to be where our cloud is going to be, okay? Now you do it nice and light, remember that. And we're going to do a nice semicircle like that. And that's going to be all done in yellow afterwards. That'll be our sunlight. Now, it's not a lot of drawing in this, but how do we draw umbrellas? Well, the first umbrella I'm going to start with, I'm not going to start from left to right. I'm going to start with the one in the middle. Well, it's not exactly the middle, but it's the middle of the page, more or less. And it's the red one. And the reason is because then I can know how much I'm going to do on each side. Okay, so I'll just tilt that down a little bit so you can see every bit of that. That's it. Now, okay. So, I'm going to do a nice big roundy one up here. And just like a big kind of a circle to start with. Kind of it doesn't matter, it's not perfect. A rough circle. Okay? It's a bit there. Well, we're going to be chopping bits out of it in a minute. So you'll see now in a minute. Okay? Now, we're going to do a kind of half circle behind here like this. This one's coming up a bit higher actually. And it's going to be a little, if you can imagine an orange in half. Just like that. It's like a half circle going behind the other one. And it doesn't matter if you draw right through it because we can rub those lines out. That's perfectly okay. Sometimes it's easier to draw right through it because you get the nice shape of it. And then we're going to do a kind of another, we're going to do like an upside down C shape here like this. Okay, just do it like that. Now I'm not putting this one flat. I'm going to put a little curve on it. So we're just going to put a little curve like that. Okay, do you see that? Now I won't do this one here just yet because I want to put in the bodies, because that one there, this one here is behind this person, okay? So just watch how we do this. So let's start with the middle one again. Now we're going to put just a shape, just like that. That's all. Underneath, it looks like a big lollipop, a big fat sticker. I don't know what it looks like. Anyway, now we're going to put two little boots on it. So we're going to make it a little bit, just like a little bit wider. So they're big thick boots. So they come in a little bit here, they come a wider little bit in, and then come out again. So they're like Wellingtons. And we can put them together, but I'm going to put two of them slightly apart, like that. Don't put them on quite too much on the edge. We can put a little now in there. Okay. Now I'm going to come over this one, and I'm going to start on this one here, because just to come near the edge of this, and we're going to make a nice, and we're not going to go down as far as this. We're going to bring it back up a little bit. And why are we going to put this higher than this? I'll tell you why, because that person is standing behind that person. Okay. Hello, David Heatherton, Karen. Hello, Faith, Evan and Anna, and Grania. How are you? And so, welcome along, and I hope you're going to enjoy it and join in. And we're going to do another one, just like this here. Very simple, just like a rectangle, really. Just to make sure that's straight, because I'm not standing in front of it, so I'm trying to make sure. Sometimes it's very hard when I'm doing it from the side. Sometimes I think I'm doing it right, and then I realise I've done it to the side. So I have to keep checking myself at my work and see that I'm making sure I'm doing it right to tell you what to do. I can be telling you to do it straight, and then I do a line all to the side, so that wouldn't be much good. So just don't mind if I go in front of it every now and again. That's fine. Okay. Now we're going to put a little bit on his arm. So we're going to put a little. This is going to be an arm here. Just a little loop like that underneath there, and we're going to put another one coming like that. It's a bit like a handle on a door or something. Okay. And these legs are very easy to draw, because we're just going to come down like that shape there, just like that, and we just draw a line in the middle, and then we've got two legs, and you can bring it all the way down further, in fact, like that, and you've got, just put a little bit on the edge, and you've got 2 feet. Now see how easy that is. And now we're going to come over to this one here, and we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to make a kind of a rectangle shape. I won't go down as far as this one again. And we're going to come across here like that, and we're going to come up like that. Now I didn't go the whole way to the top here. I left a little bit like it's a crease on the arm, so I'm going to leave it not quite as far up as the umbrella, because it's just like as if that's a little lower down. And we're going to make an arm again like this, and we can bring this down to about there like that. Don't have it too small, because it'll mean their arm is too short, because remember this is going to be, that's their elbow here, so you don't have their arm way up here, their elbow up too high. Okay, so we're going to do another one on this side. Now this person is quite a tall person, so they're just a little bit, we're going to put this down, so they're just roughly standing, they're actually standing beside that person, so their good legs can come down the whole way. There's like that. And we can divide it in the middle again, and we can come down a little bit further with it. See? And then we can add a little bit for the shoes on the end. Okay. Now this umbrella, it's very like this umbrella here, because it's the same shape, but it's just behind the other one. So we're going to come down a little bit on that person's arm, and we're going to do a shape like that. Now remember, you do these really light, these lines, because you do these lines light, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to rub out the bits we don't need. Let's see, my name is Lil. I did your art class and I really enjoy doing them. I would like to paint a close-up of a sloth in a rainforest. Oh, okay, that'll go in the hat. So I'm going to do that at the end of the class. So we'll see what we'll pick for next week then. Okay, so we're going to let it come around like that. So there's a little turn on this as well. Now, there we go. And I do believe there's somebody else. I'm just checking just for a second. I want to check, because we have somebody coming, looking at it from, I think it's Galway as well. Just let me see. I think it's, where's this? It says somebody came down, asked me, said I had to look at it, and she is from Galway. And I think it's lovely to get all these messages. I think it's fantastic. I'm really delighted that you're all doing them. I really enjoy doing them, and I'm glad you're enjoying them. Now we're going to do another one here. Like that. And we're going to put 2 little loops just like that. The same again. Now, so yeah, spread the word and let people know that they can tune in. I'm hoping to put some of these on YouTube as well. It takes a while to work that out. So I'm going to put a rectangle like that again, just exactly the same as the other ones. And we're just going to come down, the line come down further, and we'll make the feet here, like that. Now, that's the main part of our drawing done. I'm going to do a bit more on the umbrellas first, but we'll be colouring in the umbrellas, so I'll put the lines in, and then you will be painting. You can paint in between the lines, or it doesn't matter if you paint over them a little bit, and then you can come back and darken them afterwards when it's dry, because that's sometimes just as easy to do. So I'm going to put a line in the background. Now come up a little bit higher. Don't go down at the level of the feet. Just a little bit up where their ankles would be. I'm going to draw a line, and well, the ankle of this one's going to be further near because she's nearer to you, so it'll be lower, it'll be higher up on her. Now I just want to make sure this is kind of straight-ish, so I have to go in front of it for a minute, so I'm not doing it sort of a straight line. Now, so that's the ground, and that's most of the drawing. Now we start to draw for how to get the umbrella look. Umbrellas are quite hard to draw often when you start to think about how are we going to start to draw an umbrella, because they've got that sort of shape on them when they're open, but I'll show you how to do it. Now we've got the circles here. I've got the sort of half moon and the slightly little rounded shape here, and this little bit more here. Now, if you look, the center of the umbrella here is she's not holding it flat out, she's holding it a little bit up like that at an angle. So the middle of the umbrella is going to be about here. So if you can put a dot about there, so don't make it halfway. Halfway is about here, so make it above halfway. You can make a dot like that, okay? And then you think it's like an orange. If you cut an orange, if you peeled an orange, you can nearly see the look. You know, you get all the little segments of an orange, and if you peel it and if you tilt it, it'll be a bit like that. Okay. So we're going to get a line just like that, and we're going to make another line like that. Can you do that? Okay. Okay. So, and then we're going to come out and we're going to do another one out like this. Now remember what I said at the beginning, these lines you can do heavy actually. I'll allow you to do these lines heavy for a change, okay, if it's in pencil. The other lines you have to do light, because we're going to rub some of these out, and you'll see what especially with the umbrella, you'll see now in a minute what I'm talking about. Okay, so another one going to go here, and then we're going to do one up to the very top like that, and then we're going to put one like that, and see the little bend I'm putting on it, so it's not totally straight, it's a little bend on it, and another one like that. Now what we're going to do to make it look like an umbrella is, this is how we make it look like the umbrella has that kind of shape in it. Okay, so we're going to see the edge, see when you do the round edge like that, well, we're going to come back up here, we're going to do don't make it too deep, but we're going to do a little like that shape. Okay, now you can get your rubber and you can rub out that line. That's why you have to do these lines light, you see. Do you remember I told you? You can do these lines heavy, but all the other lines light. And then we're going to do the same here. We're going to do it just like that. See? And we can rub out that line. Now, it's going to be hard for me to rub these out because I did these heavy so you could see them, remember. And I can bring up the body. It doesn't, if you want to have to bring up the body line a little bit more, that's fine. Okay? Now, you can do it a little bit on this side. We're going to put a little bit here. And we can rub out that line. Now, and we can bring up that arm. Do you remember we did the arm in here? So we can just bring that up. If there's a space there, we can bring it up, and that's fine. Now, these lines we don't have to do, and why? And do you know why? Maybe you can think about this at home. Why am I not putting those little bits out up here? Because we're looking at the other side of the umbrella. They're on the other side of the umbrella, so you won't see the little cutout bits. Okay. Now, I didn't bother doing it on this one here because she's so flat on to you that you don't really see the cutout so much because it's just really flat. So I'm just going to do, this will be an easy one to do. We're going to do one down the middle like that. And then we do one like that. Don't make them too close together because you'll have too many of them together. And don't make, it just makes it easier. And then another one like that. And see the way this curves? It's like all the time curving in. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to go here. And we're going to do another one in here. And you can put a little spike up if you want because it's like the spike of the umbrella like that. I didn't do the first one, but you can do it like that. Makes it look more real. Now this one is a bit like this one, except that it's the middle of the line is way up near the top. There's the middle of the umbrella and it's going to be right up near the top, see? Hello, Mick Wallace. Hello, how are you? And we're just going to do a little bit of a little dot there, and it's very near the top, okay? Very near the top. But it's not going to be, so it's not as easy, it's because they're nearly having their umbrella up flat, but they've just got a little bit of a tilt on it. So we're going to do the same. We're going to put one line like that, coming from that dot, and one line like that there. You do that, and then we're going to put another one like that, and another one like that. And we'll put two little ones up here. We'll do one going this way and one going that way. And now what are we to do? We should do our little cutout bits, okay? So we're going to do exactly the same as the last time. We're going to do a little cutout like that, okay? Because it's tilted a little bit, and we're going to rub out that line. That's why these lines have to be light, these underlines. These lines can all be quite dark inside the umbrella lines, but the other lines you use nice and light, and hold your pencil nice and light, as I explained at the beginning of the class. I have to do it heavy so you can see it, so that's the only reason why it's harder for me to rub it out. And then you can bring these, and you can do a little bit on the same on this one. You'll only see a little bit of it on that side because it's going behind the umbrella, so you just do a little bit there like that. And you can bring up the body then like that. And the same on this one, and we can rub that bit out there. Now, as I say, you'll see some of my lines because I had to do it dark. So yours won't be this dark as yours used to be. And again, we're not doing anything on the far side because that's on the other side of the umbrella. Okay? So the last umbrella, this is the hard bit of it. But you know, once you got used to drawing it, it's very handy to be able to do, because you know an umbrella is not an easy thing to draw. So now you got to know how to do it. So okay, we're going to bring down the little dot here, not too far down because it's kind of, you know, she's got it holding quite straight, okay? So we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to come down like that, and then we're going to come the other way like that, and then we're going to come out like that, and we'll come out like that. And we'll do one up at the top because you won't see too much, so you don't have to go too much detail. And we'll do our little cut in again on this. So there we have a cut in, just like that, and we can rub out the underline that we had there like that. And we can always just you can get your, and the same on this side. Oh, like that. You can probably get away with that one. Won't bother with that one. You won't really see too much of that one anyway. Now, that's our drawing done, and now we're ready to paint. So, what are we using to paint? So, I think the first thing we'll do is we'll actually do the nice light colours first, because it's always good, I think, to do the lighter ones sometimes, but even just from the point of view getting your brushes, the water gets muckier quicker. So if you do when I say the lighter ones, I'm talking about the yellow. We might fill in our yellows first, and then we can work around to our backgrounds a little bit more. So we're going to get just pure yellow first of all. Just get my brush ready. So we're just getting nice yellow. And I'm going to paint in you'll probably see, if you do it nice and dark, you'll see the lines of your umbrella lines coming through, which is quite nice. So I'm just going to paint this in yellow, like that. Now, when I am using poster paints, this type here. Now you can use acrylic paints, but make sure you use old clothes, because if you get in clothes, it's very hard to get them out. You could use crayons. Crayons would be actually perfect for this. Pencil crayons you could use as well. A little bit harder because you have a little bit more colouring, but you can still do it. It's straightforward. And I'll explain how you'll do it if you're doing pencil crayons or crayons when you're doing our sky and that, okay? But for the moment we're using paints, poster paints. So I'm going to use yellow, and I'm going to put yellow on his little bootsies here. But you can use whatever colour you want. You don't have to use the same colours, because this is up to you really. This is your design. And we're going to put a yellow here. Now, we're going to put some nice rays out of the sun, because it'd be nice to think that after a rainy day we're going to have the sunshine. Because we do see a lot of rain in Ireland. If there's anybody here who's not from Ireland, you'll soon realise that when you come here that we do have a lot of rain. But we don't have a lot of rain at the moment. We've had a nice few days today in the last few weeks, so it's great. But we do get a lot of rain. But it's nice to see the sun after the rain, so that's why it's nice and cheerful. So I'm just going to put some nice rays from here. So we're going to come out from the edge of the sun, and if you draw around like that with paints, make sure you drag it back up, because we don't want the lines to go this way. Very important when you're painting is what direction, what way you put your stroke of your paint, okay? So if you put your paint like coming out of the sun like that, Now, so you'll see a few of my lines because I had to do mine heavy. You won't be doing your heavy. So all the time you think you're coming from in there, you're coming out from the sun. So don't paint crossways, paint downwards. Paint like as if it's the ray of a sun. And you can go onto your ground a little bit like that. And we'll bring it in like that. And if I do go crossways and then drag it back up, you see that? Now, I'm going to make the sun a little bit deeper, just so it separates it from the ray. So I'm going to add a little bit of red to the edge of my yellow. I don't want to make it too dark. I don't make it too orange. So I'll make, because red is very strong, so you don't need much red. Really, you don't need much red. So a little bit of red and yellow together. So mix it well. Or you could have your mark crayons, and this you could just use orange coloured crayons, or light or deep yellow. Now, so just going to make it a little bit deeper. Now, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my clouds. Now my clouds I'm going to use a grey colour. So I'm going to use black and white. Now I don't, when I do painting, I don't use black very much, but I'm going to use another colour into it, so to make it not too black, because sometimes when you put too much black together, it's not very, it's very drab looking. So what I'm going to do, boys and girls, I'm going to get some white and I'm going to get a bit of black into it. Okay, can you see that? And we're going to get a little bit black and grey. So there's a real grey colour, but I'm going to add a bit of blue into that. So I'm going to get a bluey grey colour. If you're using crayons, you could use a grey colour crayon, or even a blackish colour on its side, and then put a bit of blue over it. Same with the pencil crayons, because often it's and now it'll just give a different shade through it, not just too grey. So when I'm doing it now, watch what I'm going to do. Look, I'm doing it like this. I'm not going crosses. I'm doing it like roundy. So can you do roundy way? Do it roundy, and that makes it look cloudyish. And you don't need to have all the same shade. Sometimes it'll be darker. Sometimes it'll be lighter. And you can go all in that part there. Look, just give that a little bit. All darkish in that. So you can see the clouds there. Look, you see that kind of cloudy feel. Okay, so just go like that. Look, can you do that? So pretend you're just scrubbing like that. Okay. So, and remember, if you have any other suggestions of things to draw, as I say, I'll have the sloth in a rainforest in my hat as well. That's Lila. And she's looking forward to doing something like that. Well, it'll go into the hat, as they say. So any more suggestions, please let me know. If I don't see them now, because sometimes I don't see all that many comments. Sometimes I miss them, and they would like to draw a golden retriever. Got to miss that bit. Great. I'll put that in as well. Yeah, I'll put them all in, and at the end I'll have those two added on today. So I'll pick something at the end of the class. So here we go. So I'm just going to come across here with my, keeps coming down a little bit. My pin is not holding it up very well today. Now, so we come across like that. And you can add little bits, you know what you can do? You can add little bits of white into that. When you've done that, you can put little bits of white. This is a great thing about this. You just put a little bit of paint and you can flick it back into it like that. Look, very light. Now, hold your brush light. That's what I meant to say. And I always do in the other classes too. Don't hold your brush like this. Again, it's not a pencil, it's a paintbrush, and you hold it nice and light again. Make your hand. Don't make sure you don't paint when you're doing your hand, because you might splash somebody. But make it nice and light and loose, and then you can just. It makes it much easier when you're nice and light, loose and light and relaxed. Okay. So it's because it's fun. It's not meant to be hard. It's not meant to be. You're not meant to feel scared doing it. So you're meant to feel this is going to be fun to do. So more white, and you can do put a little white, but I don't put too much paint on the brush. And you just flick it around like that, look. And even if there's any adults painting here today with their children, what I'm doing now is actually exactly what you would do. This is like a simplified version of what you would do in a sort of a real painting. But you know, an acrylic painting that you'd want to spend time on, I'm using exactly the same type of way of using the brush as I would if I was doing my own artwork. So for the children, this is really handy to learn all these things because you do use this way of painting. Okay, so boys and girls, now just roll it around like that. So you can put little bits of white in it like that, and just brightens it up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to paint the sky, the rest, or the background, and in fact the background here. Now, what I'm going to do for this is, remember I put my black and I put my blue and I put my white together. So now I'm going to add loads more white. So it's the same colour, but lots of white. Lots of white. So it's going to be a light grey colour now. If you can imagine a really light grey colour. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to paint, it says, I like grey and I put a big lump of black. Now you'll have a laugh at me there. See, you shouldn't be talking too much. Just watch what you're doing. Okay, here we go. And you see, it's never, and there's an example. Even if you do that, don't ever worry. Just get a bit more white and put it on it. You can never make too many mistakes in art, really. And if you do, you can always fix them. So, here we go. We're going to make, and we're going down. This time I'm going to go down. Okay, straight down. Straight down. I'm going to go in, all around, in here. I'm going to go straight down on the bottom too. And I'm going to go down. There's a reason why I'm going to go down, not just cross on the bottom. And you'll see in a minute. I'm going to go down like that. So all the way down, right through where your line is for your ground. You can always put it in afterwards. You just make sure you can kind of see it a little bit. You can always mark it in. So nice light grey the whole way. The whole way, and in between the bud, in between our little people. Like that. And remember, you can look back at these videos afterwards. So if you miss anything, or you have to go, if you get interrupted, and you have to go off, or you can come back and have a look at it any time. So don't worry about it if there's anything you miss. That's a great thing about the internet. You can do that. And as I say, I'm hoping to put some of these on YouTube. I just have to work out a few technical things on it first, but I'll get there. So. Because I know a lot of people don't are on Facebook, so it's handy to be able to have some other way of showing people how to do these. So I'm going to just bring these all down like that. Now, that's kind of like our background bit. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to make our rain. So we're going to add a little bit more of the black and the blue into our colour. So it's a little bit darker than our colour over there just now. So it's kind of the middle of a grey kind of colour, sort of still a grey. And we're going to just put, now we're going to have the rain coming over this way. So I'm going to just, now you can put it like that. I can put some on the ground as well. And we can put some through the body afterwards, but one or two through the rain. Just like that, okay? And that's kind of our rain now. It doesn't matter where you put them. You can design, you can put your own, spread them out a little bit so you don't have too many in one place. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come in and we're going to paint the rest of our umbrellas that are not the lighter ones. So you can, as I say, you can paint these whatever way you want. So I'm just going to use the kind of colours I used here. So I made a purple colour. How did I make a purple colour? On this person here on the left, I mixed blue and red, and I added a little bit of white into it too, so I kind of gave it a sort of a lighter colour. But you can mix your own colours here. So that's a blue and red, and I'm putting a little bit of white, and I'm making a purple here. And I'm just going to colour all of that in there. And I actually put purple trousers on the other one. So while I have the purple here, I'm going to put the purple trousers on this person over here. Just like that. Okay. Now I don't have any more purple. No, I don't. Okay. So what I'm going to get now is I'm going to go for my red. So I have a big red umbrella and I have red trousers over here. So we're going to go, and I'm going to bring the lines coming out from the middle. Just it gives it a, so instead of going crisscross, crisscross, if you kind of go with the shape, remember I said about how the direction of your stroke is very important. So if you come out from the middle. Always come out from the middle. And go with the shape you have. So if you've got those lines going that shape, you go that shape. And you'll see your lines coming through. These lines can be dark. And the thing about it is you can go back over them again because this paint is very light anyway. So you'll see through it easy enough. So if I edge it like that, I then come back, drag it back into it like that. Yeah. There we go. And I'm going to put red trousers on this little person over here, the little person, the child. That's like that. So there we go. That's that. Now, I'm going to come back in with my, what am I going to do? The blue. I'll do the blue because that'll finish off this one. So we've got blue in a few places actually, because we've got blue trousers here on this, like that. And then we've got a blue umbrella. And again, we're going to come out from the middle. Work it out from the middle. And we're going to put, we've got blue boots. I've got a blue jacket. We've got lots of blue actually. But you can do, as I say, you do whatever colour you want because they're your umbrellas. So now, so we're going to do. So there we go. And we can put another coat afterwards on that now because I put 2 coats in that, I think. But you can do that afterwards. You can come back and paint this. I'm just going to do it once. I might be able to do a little bit because it's very light the first time. Make that just a little bit deeper. Now, so there we go. Now we've got a green, we've got 2 greens, and we've got a couple of black pairs of boots to do. So much big brush again. And we have a green down here. So this person is wearing a green coat. So there we go. Green here like that. And we're going to put a green umbrella. Oop, came out a bit far there. Fix it afterwards. Now, there's the green umbrella, and we've got, and then again, keep it going with the shape of the umbrella like that. Now, there we have the green coat, green umbrella. Now you might go back and do it and give it another coat and paint on it after. Or you might not, you might find, it depends on some of the paints. And some of the different poster paints are better than others. Some of them are much thicker paint and some of them don't. It really depends, they're all very different. Okay, so we're going to come back in with our little black boots. Here, on this little person here. Or this big person, I should say. This is the bigger, well no it's not, that's the tallest person I think. And then we've got little black boots here as well. Now, so that's basically the drawing. Now what I want to do is, because it's wet ground, see the ground is all wet, okay? So when the ground is wet we can get reflections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do reflections. So I've a little bit of black on the brush now from those boots. I'm going to take it off. And I say take it off, just get a bit of towel. I'm going to dab it. I'm not going to wipe it off really hard, just dab it like that, okay? And I'm just going to get under the black boot now. Watch, very lightly. I'm just going to do a little like that. You see that? Very light. And the same under each boot here. Leave a space in between. And under that boot, don't go down too far. Just like that. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the same with all the other colours. So I'm going to make yellow under these boots. Just very light again. We put the yellow on and we can sort of dab it off like that. Just lightly on a piece of tissue. But don't do too much. And then a little dab of it like that and that. See? And then I'm going to get the same with the blue, because she is wearing blue boots down here. And we're going to get a little bit of blue, dab it off like that, and just a little bit like that. And then we look and see what colour trousers they're wearing. So this person is having blue trousers, so we're going to stay with the blue, dab it off, and we just go underneath like that, and we can drag that down a bit like that. Now I'll show you these up close now in a minute on the screen if you can't see them from there. It's hard, I can't really see how well you're seeing it. And we're going to do exactly the same on the green here, because the green is wider. So we're going to come, actually do this up close. So we're going to bring it across like that. See how much lighter it is? I'm not doing it as heavy as that. It's just very light. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to get my purple. Remember the purple colour we made earlier on with our red and our blue and a bit of white? And I'm going to put that, and I'm just going to bring that down underneath there. Now, if you could see the whole way down, you'd see a reflection of their coats and all. You'd see the yellow, but we're only seeing a little bit. And we're going to get a little bit of red, and take it again, dab it off. Don't put too much on, and just like that. Now, the last little bit really, well, two more little bits really, I suppose you could say, is we're going to just get a few. Remember our grey colour we had? Our white and our black, and a little bit of blue into just get that middle grey colour. And I'm just going to put a few little streaks across like this, look. And it gives it that reflection-y look. Makes it look like there's reflections on the ground. We've done this before when we did our swan, and we did our other, what was it we did? We did another reflection, another one I can't remember now. We've done quite a few of them now. This is falling out of me. I feel the wood is very hard to put in. Anyway, that should do for now. It's a bit wobbly, but anyway. Now, the last thing you could do is we could go in with a heavy dark. Now, you might have to do this in a while, but I'll just show you what to do because it's kind of might be quite wet in places. What you do is you outline everything in either a dark black crayon would be great, or a pencil crayon, or if you had a narrow crayon, it would be good if you wanted a point on it, or a marker. But you have to wait till it dries, because I think it looks really nice when you get these lines in really dark and outline it, because it's that kind of picture. Sometimes you don't do this type of way in a picture, but there's certain type of pictures that really suit this, and I think this is one of them. And we go right dark, all the way around like that, and we can go down around the boots, and we go around this little one here. And you can see it building up nicely now, where it gets nice. You can make it really definite. So you could do this in either paint, or well, paint would be hard because you'd have to have a very narrow brush to do it. But if you have a crayon or even a black pencil, marker, but just wait till it dries. And these, if you're using poster paint, they dry very fast. Put them in, without being dangerous. Don't make it too much until it's too hot. But if you put it somewhere in a warm room or in a sunny window, or near a heater, but not too near a heater. You'd have to ask somebody older in the house to see where it would be the best place to put it. That it'd be safe, because it's always you have to be safe with these things, because remember it's on paper, so you have to be safe. Very important. And then we're just going to go down like that, all the way around like that, around the arms, and around the legs, and the boots. Now you can take your time doing this. I'm just going to do this really fast so you can see the result. And this little one here is falling down again. I'm afraid that pin is not very sharp. It isn't going into the wood at all. And there we go. And here we are like this, like that. Now, so there we go. Now, so there we go, boys and girls. There's our picture for today, an umbrella in the rain, or umbrellas in the rain. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now, before we go, I have two suggestions, I think, so far anyway, to put into the hat. There might be more, but I can't see them at the minute. And if there is, they'll go in the next time. So today is what? Sunday, so Monday, Tuesday. So the next class I hope to do on Tuesday, all being well. And so let me find a piece of paper, and I'll just write out those two pieces now. We have a golden retriever. I'll write with this one. Golden retriever, and a sloth in a rainforest. Actually, that could be quite nice too, a sloth in a rainforest. All the greenery and the leaves and everything would be quite nice to do, wouldn't it? Sloths are funny creatures, aren't they? Really nice, very cute, very slow. It's like getting up in the morning. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to put these in the hat now. There's two more suggestions. Now let's have a look and see what I'm going to pick out. Now there they are, all there in my tray. There's a whole lot of them. I can't let them fall out. So I'm going to just jiggle them around a bit. I have a clue what I'm picking. Here's my hand now. There we go. I haven't a clue what this is going to be. Let's see what we're going to do on Tuesday. We're going to do a Saber-Toothed Tiger. Ooh. So does anyone know what that is? That's like a tiger in prehistoric times. Way back, and they were like tigers really, but they're much, much, much bigger, and they had big, big teeth, much bigger teeth than the normal tiger. So you definitely wouldn't want to meet them out on your walk. So Saber-Toothed Tiger it is for the next time. And so boys and girls, I hope you really enjoyed that today. And as I say, you might have to go back and do the marker again over it afterwards when it dries a bit. And thanks so much for coming along and joining me today. And look out on my YouTube. I'm hoping to do it on a YouTube, but it mightn't be for a few days. And also, oh yes, there's a children's art group page. If you want to join it, just go onto the page, Cairn Hill Art, and you can ask to join it. You can put up some of your work. I'd love to see what you're doing. And maybe you could put spots and stripes in the umbrellas. I don't know what else you'd like to do with it. So listen, thanks so much for joining me today, and see you again next time. Bye bye.